Welcome to another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the almighty B Live, the money man Scottie D, and your host, the head of creative, Eddie Cool. The Sports Bros Podcast is a sports podcast that's by the fans, for the fans, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. No sleeping at the bar. You had to be privy to the conversation before we hit the record button to understand that. But that's another story for another day. What's going on, world? It's be your boy, Eddie Cool, and welcome to another action-packed episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode number 122, if I'm not mistaken, because for some strange reason, I'm losing count of the episodes. Don't know how. Don't know why, but I'm going to stop because here I am once again rambling incoherently. You know, me, Eddie Cool, the HOC, up in this thing here. But as always, I have two of the best co-hosts in the world. Introducing first, the almighty B Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? Man, oh man, we just had a little throwback situational for those that can see us. My man, Scottie D has got throwback overtime gear. We miss it so very much. That's where the no sleeping at the bar comes from. But yeah, you know what? I'm feeling festive. I feel like something happened this week that made me so happy. There was a little bit of football. College football is back. And you know what? Really ain't that much to talk about. That's why we're focused on the NFL. But now I'm babbling. Eddie, cool. Just go ahead and introduce that other guy. You know, go ahead and get that introduction out of the way. Yes, sir.
And the other guy, he is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania, the one, the only, the overtime legend himself, the money man, Scottie D.
Badia, hey, do you remember Badia? Dancing in September, Badia. Never was a cloudy day. Oh, yeah. September is just, it's at our fingertips. We are right there. And guys, I love this next about 8 to 10 weeks when it comes to the world of sports. September, October, you got the baseball races right on into the playoffs. College football just getting underway. NFL about to get underway. The Ryder Cup coming up here in a couple weeks. The golf, the PGA Tour Championship coming up. Man, we got our hands full. September, once the weather cracks, boy, you can't get any better than that for a sports fan's perspective. But we had one last weekend of August with some really good stuff to get into, Eddie Cole.
Yep, we got all kind of stuff to get into. And of course, the main thing that's going on right now is football of the National Football League back in the full swing of things. We've only had three preseason games this season, which is good because why you need 4, 5, and 6 games for? You know, you see what you want to do. You trim the roster down to 53 and you make the necessary adjustments. Unless you're J.K. Dobbins. Sucks to be him, but well wish to him. He tore his ACL this weekend. So with that being said, as we go into the regular season, fellas.
And before we get started too on that, Eddie,
okay.
We also, I mean, people always say thoughts and prayers, but I really have been thinking and praying for the people in New Orleans because this is like the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina hit.
Yes.
Now they got this most recent hurricane coming up and messing with them a little bit. So yeah, you know, and as guys that we are from an area that is sensitive to the hurricane type of situation. So just wanted to put that out there, man. That, you know, a lot of bad stuff going on in the world today. We didn't need a hurricane to throw on top of it, but we did. So all of our best to the people of New Orleans. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Appreciate that. Yeah, you're right, Scottie D. We could have definitely gone without another hurricane. It's almost like what 16 years to the day, if I'm not mistaken, if my math is off, but I know it's like the anniversary of when Katrina made landfall. So if you're out there, please take care of yourself. Please be careful. Evacuate if you got to. Thoughts and prayers out to everyone else as well too. All right, let's get back on track. Let's talk about the National Football League. The preseason is over and done with. finally, and they had a game Sunday night between the Falcons and the Browns, which was pretty good. Those Browns look pretty good. So with that being said, fellas, I'm going to ask you several questions. Here's question number one. What team do you see improving enough to earn a postseason berth that was not in the playoffs last year? Scottie D, you first.
Well, the obvious one for me would be
No, wrong answer already.
the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys.
I felt that in the atmosphere. Wrong. No.
There it is. The most easy, obvious one on the board, the low-hanging fruit. The biggest question.
Somewhere Trent Disler's smiling, Scott.
Yeah. Well, he's already thrown in the towel. As soon as Dak Prescott got a contract, Trey Duke, he checked out. So we might see him in 6 years.
4 years, $160 million with $127 million guaranteed. Dak Prescott. I love saying that every single time. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Scott.
Well, when it comes to the Cowboys, there's two big questions. Obviously, one is Dak Prescott and his health. He had the setback with the lat thing in the shoulder this year. Seemingly, he should be good to go with that. All reports are indicating that he's healthy and good to go. But he didn't have the opportunity to knock off any rust, and he didn't have any opportunity to face another team to test that ankle out. I'm sure in practice they're telling him stay away from Dak's feet. So he hasn't had any real game time reps as far as that goes. And it's a tall order to start off with in Tampa Bay next Thursday night, a week from Thursday, at the defending Super Bowl champions. In the NFC, I mean, I kind of got to go with the Cowboys because that division was so weak last year. The football team made the playoffs at 7-9. So seemingly that division would be the one you would look to. In the AFC, I think we need to keep our eye on the Chargers. They were not a playoff team last year, but they have the young up and coming quarterback, and they're in rebuild mode. So I kind of like them from that side. And it's kind of weird to put the Patriots in that category because they're in the playoffs every year, but last year they were not. They had a lot of guys opt out last year. Now I know they have the whole quarterback thing going on right now. I'm not sure. For my money, and I haven't heard this as of yet, I would guess that Cam Newton will be the guy they go with to start. I don't know that for sure. I know that Mac Jones got some reps. They said when Cam had to sit out a few practices because of the COVID situation. But I don't think the Patriots will win their division, but I do think they have a chance to get back in the playoffs. What about you, B-Lab? Where are you sitting on that?
Well, I can see the Patriots. But I think I'm agreeing with you with the Los Angeles Chargers when it comes to the AFC. The NFC, I just don't believe in the Cowboys. They'll find a way to screw it up. They have the most talent out of anybody in that division. They should win their division. This is something about the Cowboys does not sit well with my spirit.
The defense. The defense is another big question mark. I didn't mention that's another big question mark for them.
But the team that did not make the playoffs last year out of the NFC that I see making the playoffs this year, man, it has to be the Arizona Cardinals. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals, I mean, AJ Green, JJ Watt, I just like their defense was already good and now it's going to be even better. I think Kyler Murray, I mean, just the weapons that he has, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, and now AJ Green on top of that, who do you guard? So, I mean, Arizona, I see them winning, making the playoffs. I've seen them actually winning their division. And so, Arizona,
see, that's the thing with them. That's the reason I didn't pick them, though, is because they actually were probably in the toughest division, don't you think?
Oh, with the Rams, with the
49ers, Seahawks. 49ers have the quarterback thing going as well. But
yeah, I don't believe in the 49ers this year. And something tells me Seattle, I don't believe in them either.
I agree. I don't know why either. It's something I'm with you on that.
I think Russell Wilson pissed off his whole O line.
Mm.
I think I just that I don't think you ever recover from that. You have to he better have been buying them steak dinners every week. Just you got to take care of the boys in front. I mean that's your livelihood. So I don't know. Hey,
I feel like Pete Carroll teams eventually erode over time, and I think the reason he's lasted so long at this point is because he had that great defensive team a few years back, and when things started to erode, Russell Wilson emerged as the guy that kind of kept things from falling apart. And now, like you said, it could be a little bit of I don't know. I haven't heard much about that, but he did make some comments earlier in the offseason that could definitely shake up some team chemistry. So I actually had them as one of the teams I was thinking that was a playoff team from last year that could miss this year.
So yeah, that's why I know that we were going to talk about that. But yeah, Eddie Cool, what say you? What you got? Who do you see that's going to make the playoffs that didn't make it last year?
I think it's a clean sweep, fellas, and we all can agree that the LA Chargers in the AFC, they'll make the playoffs because if you ask me, yes, the AFC West is a tough division. You got the Chiefs, you got the Broncos, you got the Raiders. I think the Chargers, I think the Chargers have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs because they have a lot of weapons. The defense is pretty stout, and with Justin Herbert, there's nothing but pure upside from there. We saw, we got a little small sample tasting of it last season, and we saw what he can do on such short notice. And with him being on such short notice, there was times where you would look at him. I think for me it was that Monday night New Orleans game last year. I was like, this dude's a rookie. Y'all let him, y'all passed up on this guy. And I was like, what in the world? Because of course, we on the East Coast, and we not staying up watching watching no Oregon games like that, because by that time we probably getting off work, tired and ready to go to sleep. Yeah, it is time to go night. So I think now we have to pay some extra special attention to the Los Angeles Chargers because I think I'll say this. I think they grab one of the two wild card spots. They will grab one of the two wild card spots because Kansas City, they'll still
three wild cards. Remember, yeah.
Oh, that's right. There's 3 wild card spots. Okay, I think they have one of the 3 wild card spots, and because that, like I said, in that division, you got Kansas City. They'll play you tough. The Broncos, they got Von Miller back. They're healthy, and then they have Teddy Bridgewater at the helm. So we'll see where that goes. And then we got the Raiders just being the Raiders, and so we shall see. But fellas, I think that we're all in agreement that the LA Chargers will make it to the playoffs, right? We good on that one?
Yep, yeah, I think we all went in that direction, AFC wise. But here's one that I'm surprised that neither of you mentioned, and I didn't mention. It was the Dolphins, because that was a team last year that was 10-6 and did not make the playoffs, which is kind of sad because, like I said, Washington did make it at 7-9. But I didn't pick the Dolphins because I'm still not sure that they are settled at quarterback. That, to me, that's the biggest question mark, because that team, they loaded on draft picks last year and kind of had that nice rebuild going. But as early as this morning, or as late as this morning, I hear that they're still interested in Deshaun Watson. So that, if they're talking about that, you gotta think maybe their faith isn't in Tua like it should be in that respect. What do you think of that there, Eddie Cool, Be Live?
I mean, Tua, he did go 6-3 last year when he was able to start, but I think when it comes to Tua, he's got to be consistent. He's got to be consistent at a high level, because that division, I mean, you got the Bills, the Patriots, and the Jets. Even though I'm not going to lie to you, I don't think the Jets are going to make the playoffs. They'll make it tough. They'll make it tough for the teams in the division, but the Jets, they're not going to make it to the playoffs.
But they should improve. They should improve.
Yeah. They will be a whole lot better. Good Lord, post Adam Gates with the eyeballs and everything. Hold on. Let me flip it to gallery view. Think about it. For the first time in a few years, Jets fans, you don't have to worry about seeing this no more. This man looking at you going crazy and stuff. Just what the world's going on. You know what? I'll say it again. That press conference reminds me of, damn, boy, I done made a mistake. What have I got myself into? Yeah, it's just if they're in the running to get Deshaun Watson, then the Dolphins, they really have a clear shot to make the playoffs because the Dolphins have talent. They have talent, and they have brought into the program that Brian Flores has introduced him to. So, per Deshaun Watson, if they get him or not, I see the Dolphins making the playoffs, and they'll probably grab the other wild card in that conference as well too. What say you, Be Live?
This here's the thing. I don't think they make the playoffs this year, even if they get Deshaun Watson. I think there's still too much of a curve to learn the playbook and everything like that and have that chemistry.
In short time, I got you.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson, yes, is a top 5 quarterback. Take all of this media and lawsuits and civil suits, all that. Take that out of your thinking. He's still a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. The kid can ball, but it's just too much turmoil. It's just too much. Honestly, I want him to ball. I want him to play. You see me wearing the Clemson shirt. All roads lead to Dabble. That's my dude.
I was waiting for it.
I'm just telling you, that's my dude. It's just, man, I want him to ball out. I want him to ball out. If Miami does get him, there's still talks that Carolina might be trying to reach out to him as well. I want him to ball out. I want him to ball out. I don't. And Eddie Cool is over there waving his hands because I don't really want the Panthers to go for him because at the end of the day, I think he's going to cost too much. The Texans want too much for Deshaun Watson. So that's going to be a piece within itself. And so I don't believe in the Dolphins. I don't believe in the Seahawks. I still can't believe. I just don't. I refuse to believe in the Cowboys just for sake of reason. But they didn't. But that's just me loving to put out.
You will regret that. You will regret that.
But
we'll see. Was it week 3? Is it?
Yeah. No. Is it week 3?
Well, the Cowboys and Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah, week 3.
And,
we'll see.
It's in October. I think it's later in October. I believe.
No, it's the beginning of October.
Is it okay? Yeah, it might be around the 3rd or something. I don't know.
Yep. I remember I booked the hotel because I was hoping that the Sports Bros could go. But life.
Long way to go to see your team lose, man. Good thing you're out of that.
I'm gonna make sure to call you up directly that very day.
Focus on the show. Focus on the show.
Yeah.
Focus on the show.
And when you do that, be like, please make it a 3-way call as well, too. And I think we've kind of sort of delved into our next question about which teams from last year will most likely miss the playoffs this season. And Scottie D and Be Live, you both said the Seahawks, right?
Well, I actually think the Saints are going to have a hard time getting back to the playoffs without Drew Brees there. And Michael Thomas, I think, is still hurt, right? Didn't he have an ankle issue that he waited till later in the offseason to get fixed and kind of got him set back?
I'll tell you what the truth is. Drew Brees gone, and he don't want to be there no more. Next question.
Well, there could be something to that for sure. But that's them. And like I said, I'm picking the Cowboys to win a bad division, so I don't foresee the Washington football team going back to the playoffs when it comes to the NFC.
So Scottie D is kicking everybody out of the playoffs that made it last year. Everybody. No Seahawks, no Saints.
No. The team I said most likely is going to be the Saints. That's my pick.
Right.
Most likely to not go back to the playoffs from last year. That's who I'm picking.
I mean, and those are all very valid points, especially with the Saints and everything. They're going to be a shell of their former selves. But I'm going to tell you this, and it's going to be tough to say because this is coming from, this is unbiased. I think Jameis Winston shocks a lot of people. I think he does. Like I watched that last preseason game. Him and Callaway. I picked him up on one of my fantasy teams, Callaway. I picked him up because I was like, that is a connection. Them two passes that he dropped, only Callaway could get to him. And I mean, Jameis Winston dropped some dimes. He convinced everybody that he is QB1 in the Saints. Is he playoff material? We shall see. I'm gonna tell you this. This is gonna be a very unpopular answer where you're at right now, Scottie D. In the AFC, the Steelers don't make it back to the playoffs.
You could be onto something there. You could be.
I think Ben is over the hill.
Yeah.
I want to see. I'm curious to see how Najee Harris works out there. Maybe they get made, because the thing that was the issue with the Steelers for the longest time is that they went away from their run game. Maybe it'd be a little bit more balanced, but I think Ben Roethlisberger. I feel like he's overweight.
You think so?
I think he's always been bigger and heavier than you would like him to be. But the biggest question to me for him is last year he did a lot of dink and dunk. Remember, like quick throws off the line of scrimmage. Was he doing that stuff because his arm strength was down because he had surgery the previous year? And being 2 years off the surgery, will he be strong enough to get the ball down the field more accurately? I never thought he was the most accurate anyway, but he was always, made good reads, and he was always hard to bring down. Like the first hit from a defense, a lineman coming off, he could shake off because he was so big and, giving his receivers a couple extra steps to get open. That was always the key with Roethlisberger. Let's see this year. This is going to be his last year. Does he have one more run in him? Is there anything left in that arm? But that's a great pick. Because that is a huge question mark. Their offensive line is also a huge question mark.
And the thing about it is that out of all the teams in the AFC that made the playoffs, I think every team got. You might put a mention about the Colts, because the Colts
that was my AFC pick because their quarterback situation as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the only one. But yeah, I think Buffalo improved. Baltimore, I still think that with Gus Edwards, they're still going to be just as good. J.K. Dobbins is a huge loss, but Gus Edwards is not that bad either. I mean, I think all three, they had a three-headed horse when it came to rushing between Dobbins, Edwards, and of course Lamar Jackson. And so, I think they don't miss a beat in Baltimore. Texans, I think, the Titans. The Titans got better. I think. With picking up Julio Jones.
Yep.
I think they ball out. So, but we'll see. I don't believe in the Steelers. I just don't believe in them.
As far as I'm concerned, I think when it comes to the NFC, I think we're all in consensus agreement that the Saints, they ain't gonna make it this year. Nothing personal, but it is what it is. But as you said, Be Live, I think people still forget, even though Jameis Winston is 5,030 for 30. All right. At 1 year he passed for 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 30 interceptions. He done got his eyes fixed. He's no longer Jameis Squinston. He no longer has to does this. He can see clearly now. The squint is gone. And he going to be eating his fingers. I hope he don't choke on his fingers while he's doing that. I hope he's washing. Sanitize your hands, man. You don't know that football, man. But yeah, I just hope, personally, I hope Jameis has a great season. And then,
no, I can't say that. I don't hope he has a great season because he does still play for our rival. And on top of that, he played for my college football rival, and all roads lead to Dabo. So I really didn't like Jameis Winston back then. I don't like him now. I don't like the Saints. I'm sorry.
Hey, look, Be Live. He can light up the Cowboys, okay? But he can light them up, but leave us alone. Jameis is going to have a good year. The Colts, I got some concerns about the Colts, man, because you got T.Y. Hilton. He got a nerve. He got a disc issue going on, and he'll be out for a lengthy period of time. Then we got this whole Carson Wentz situation. He's on the COVID list. A few of the linemen is on the COVID list, and I think Sam Ehlinger, I don't know if he's on the list, and he got hurt too, which means if Carson's still out and Ehlinger's still on the list, then we got what's the kid? Is it Jacob Eason? Yeah. Now we got Jacob Eason starting. So with the Colts to have that stout defense, we don't know what's going on. But then again, I don't want to count them out all the way because, as we know, anything is possible. So if I'm looking, All right, so I'll probably say, along with you, you guys, Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh has a lot to prove this year. With can they show that hot start last year? Can they prove that was not a fluke? And like you said, can Big Ben throw it down the field, or is it this point in career? Is he just an intermediate passer? Just pass the ball 5, 10, 15 yards at that. And can his wide receivers get open? I mean, he has Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, and Juju, Corvette Smith-Schuster.
That's the thing. They still have enough weapons. I think they can still win. I still think they can make the playoffs. I mean, I don't expect them to be like an outright Super Bowl contender, but I think with those weapons, if Big Ben's arm is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be great. If it's okay and they can run the ball, which that's always been kind of before last year, it's always been kind of the Steelers' trademark is running the ball. I think they can make it. That's why my pick is the Colts of the AFC to most likely not make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. All right, fellas, and the final question of this NFL segment, as far as teams go, which teams do we think will be competing for the number one spot for the overall draft pick next season? Which teams will be fighting, scratching, clawing, and taking at the bottom? Who you got, Scottie D?
Got to be the Texans. I mean, I hate saying it because, like you, I'm also the Deshaun Watson fan, but Bill O'Brien traded away a ton of picks. We don't even know if Deshaun Watson's going to be playing. I mean, at some point, Roger Goodell could step in and say, not so fast. We got too many legal things to worry about. Bill O'Brien made some bad trades, leaving the cupboard not quite so full. I think it's going to be a rough year because last year Jacksonville was terrible, and I think that they're already better than the Texans within that own division. I think they're going to have the top pick next year, with all apologies to the Atlanta Falcons, who I think are also trending in that direction.
I have no problem with the Falcons trending in that direction. No problem whatsoever.
Because they're going to need more than Kyle Pitts. They're going to need more than Kyle Pitts. I'm trying to tell you. They're going to need more than Kyle Pitts.
When did they make the decision to move on from Matt Ryan? That's going to be a good question. But yeah,
that's the thing. They're like in limbo, B-Lab. They're not like in a full rebuild mode because they're still, I guess they want another run with Matt Ryan. But last year, their biggest Achilles heel was defense, and the top pick they took a tight end.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You couldn't not pick Kyle Pitts.
Oh, I get it. I
agree.
I
honestly believe he was the best athlete that came.
Sure.
Yeah, I honestly the range that he has is second to none. So I mean,
right. But do you build a team around the tight end? If they went into full rebuild mode, they could have traded down out of there. They could have traded Matt Ryan and just accumulated picks. But they didn't do that. They're still trying to win while Matt Ryan is in place, and I think it's too late.
Yeah, that's basically. I'm like, at some point in time, A, you got to build that defense, and B, you got to move away from Matt Ryan at some point in time. I'm sorry. So, but yeah, the right answer though is the Houston Texans. Is the right? That's just the right answer. They've imploded. The whole organization has imploded. Losing J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson doesn't want to play there anymore. And when your franchise player doesn't want to play there, that says everything that you want to know about that franchise. He ain't the only one that doesn't want to play there. I guarantee you that. There's a lot of players that are, man, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you.
Hopefully somebody trades for me.
Yeah. They're right. They're gonna ball out. They're gonna try their best because at the end of the day, they gotta look out for number one. And while they're still signed on contract with the Houston Texans, the cameras are on. They're gonna try to ball out so they can find a better situation for them in the future, or if anything, to get a bigger contract. Sometimes at the end of the day, money talks, and that turd that Scottie D will hold up walks.
Hold it up again, Scottie D. Show the people. Yep. I think we're all in agreement when it comes to the number one spot. It's going to be the Houston Texans. I bet you Randall Cobb was jumping for joy. Oh, I get to go back to Green Bay. Pew, he probably left everything in Houston and just took off on the Hall Ass Express. He just left like, I'm not, nope, I don't care. You can donate to the Goodwill Salvation Army. I'm fine. I'm going back to Lambeau where I can try to get a ring and play with Aaron Rodgers. I'm not mad at him. But yeah, that whole Texas organization, as you said, fellas, it's just in shambles. Don't nobody want to be there. I don't want to be there. I'm nowhere near it. But it's just a dumpster fire. As you said, J.J. Watt, gone. They just let him go. The whole DeAndre Hopkins situation is one of the most weirdest situations I've ever seen in the history of pro sports. Like that's your man, that's your guy. But okay, we're going to get him up out of here. We're going to send him on his way. And then the whole Deshaun Watson situation. I wonder if Brandon Cooks will have a 1,000-yard season this year. Hell, at this point, who knows? But yeah, we all agree that the Houston Texans will have the number 1 spot. And who's the top college quarterback prospect coming into the draft next year? I don't even remember.
It would probably be the guy Oklahoma, Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler. Yeah.
You also have the quarterback for North Carolina. What's his name? I feel bad because Chapel Hill is only like an hour away.
Don't tell nobody. I think I know you're talking about, but I can't. Was it Ryan something other?
Let me see. You know what? I don't even know why. Sam Howell.
Yeah, Sam Howell. I don't know. I was gonna say Howell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sam Howell. So yeah, he's coming out. Rattler is right now. He's front runner for the Heisman. Mm-hmm. You know who's second for in the running for Heisman preseason Heisman?
DJ
Uiagalelei. Yeah, big ukulele. Cinco, man, oh man. But yeah, see, and you know what, fellas, I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do. I'm just gonna throw this at you real quick because I love college football. We got 3 minutes. All right, screw it. What you got to say? We got 5 top 25 matchups: Clemson versus Georgia, Texas versus Louisiana, Iowa versus Indiana, Wisconsin versus Penn State, and Miami, the U versus Alabama. Do you see any upsets? I'm gonna tell you right now. I think Louisiana beats Texas. I feel that might be the big upset. That's the App State and Michigan type upset. Upset that we might see.
I'm more caught up in the pageantry of the band and the passion. That's
wow.
We back at it. We back at it again.
Wow. Good Lord.
We back at it again.
The passion. I'm gonna be watching the passion on Saturday.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah, I get it. I get it. You know what? I understand. It's the same teams over and over and over again. I get it. I'm sorry. We just got better and better and better.
I'm taking the Chiefs and the Rams for my Super Bowl picks. There you go.
Yeah, Super Bowl picks. Chiefs and Rams. Scottie D.
That's who I got. Chiefs and Rams.
Be live. What say you?
Oh my goodness. I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. It's gonna be a rematch. Chiefs and Bucks.
Chiefs Bucks too.
Chiefs Bucks too. The Buccaneers return all their starters. It's gonna be
too many veterans. They're due for some injuries.
Yeah,
I think 17 game season might do them in.
17 games is a lot for an aging team.
Yeah, that's tough sledding. I also think I was gonna say something. That's gonna be real redundant. That would be more of the conference championship game between Tampa Bay and the Rams.
You believe in Matt Stafford that much?
It's an upgrade from Jared Goff. It's an upgrade. It is an upgrade.
And the coach. I think who's
Sean McVay.
His name.
Yeah. Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think because they had a down year the last couple of years, last 2 years. Well, not so much a down year. I mean, they still made the playoffs, but couple years ago, we were calling this guy like the most brilliant genius in young, a young football coach we'd seen in a long time. I still think he's good. So I think with a better quarterback in place, he figures it out, and that team is going to be hard to beat.
Let's see. I say, okay, it's a rematch. Tampa Bay and Kansas City Chiefs. But guess what time it is, fellas?
What time?
What time is it?
It is time. Oh, I'm glad you asked. It's time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. With that being said, hey, yo, Button, hit it.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and ever so lovely Ms. Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show. You heard the woman. This is the choices of the voices. I hope you enjoyed last week's choices of the voices. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to be a tough act to follow, all right? A very tough act to follow. With that being said, Scottie D, what's the question for this week's choices of the voices?
All right. And again, I apologize, B-Live, for making you look so bad last week. So
wow. This how you want to start?
I'm apologizing. I'm hat in hand. I'm sorry I was so tough on you and made you look so inferior. Anyway, anyway, we agree. Hey, we agreed on the show already. We've been getting along.
We agree on what?
Don't ruin it. We've been getting along. Don't ruin it.
Your mouth.
I apologize.
Your mouth. That is. Oh, I almost cussed so bad, boy.
So don't ruin it. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Oh God, I want to cuss so bad.
Okay.
Just get the dump button out. I want to cuss.
Oh no.
This. Oh boy.
What's the question?
We're getting along so well. So don't mess up. Okay. So the question that we asked for this week: what college football coach do you most enjoy seeing lose? I asked this for you, B Live, because you said you wanted to have this question on the board, and actually we had at least one answer that I know you probably loved. Eddie Cool, bring it on. What do we have here?
All right, so here we go. We got the best name in the game, JoJo Comfort. He says the easy answer would be Nick Saban, low-hanging fruit, right? Success brings out the worst in one's detractors. That said, I'm going back in time a little bit when I say Woody Hayes in his Ohio State days. Why, you ask? And the reporter says, after the game against Michigan, which OSU won easily, Coach Hayes, why did you go for 2 after the touchdown when we were up big? Woody Hayes, because they wouldn't let me go for 3. That's why. A total move by Woody Hayes. So JoJo Comfort got extreme delight when he saw Woody Hayes and Nick Saban lose, but more Woody Hayes than Nick Saban.
Be Live, I'm sure you have a comment in the chamber for this one, huh?
You already know I do have an utter disdain for a grown man throwing a punch at a kid. Yeah, oh yeah. When Ohio State played Clemson back in the day, and Woody Hayes decided he wanted to throw hands for one of the Clemson players after they lost. Ohio State finally got a win over Clemson. They're now 1-4 against Clemson, and one of those games that Ohio State lost, Woody Hayes was the recipient of that, and I enjoyed it very much because he is a jerk. He's a punk.
He had the nerve to intercept a pass against Ohio State, so Woody Hayes attacked him right there on the sideline. That was it for him, right? That was it. That was
He was
gone forever from coaching after that.
Unbelievable. No class whatsoever. So yes, we sent him packing. All roads. Let's get it. Yeah, Clemson all day, baby.
Here you go. You got Bobby Knight choking kids and throwing chairs. Woody Hayes said, "Look, I don't give a damn. I'm doing this in front of everybody. I'm gonna hit this kid. Are you serious? I'm surprised nobody didn't get on him after that. Like, I'm surprised that. Anyways, I'm surprised it wasn't a brawl. It could have been a whole hell of a lot worse. It could have been way worse. And Woody Hayes was lucky that it didn't get as worse as it could have been. All right, Hot Rod, Rodney Bellamy. He says, easiest question of the year, Nick Saban. A close second, Lane Kiffin, though. Yeah, Lane Kiffin. But you already have them pictured. So I'll also throw out Jim Tressel and Bob Stoops. I know. I listed 4. The hate is strong with 5.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll give you a pass, Rodney, because there was not a lot of other answers. But he actually picked Nick Satan. If you see how this,
I'm sorry, he wrote Nick Satan. I'm sorry, Nick Satan.
Yeah, but I'm surprised so many people went. I mean, we didn't have a lot of answers, but one name, Lane Kiffin, popped up. I guess people just can't stand him. And Jim Tressel would probably, if that dude's still coaching, that'd probably be my answer. I used to love watching that dude lose, but he's gone for good too.
I think he works for the Colts organization, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe. I know he was doing some type of he was in booths like helping. It might be the Colts still, like helping with replay or something, like watching replay. I don't know what he's doing.
I think he's an advisor, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Jim Tressel. He still found a way to get in football. And poor Terrell Pryor got jammed up for getting tattoos and stuff. And NCAA, you'll never get it right. You'll never get it right. The boys want some tattoos. Shoot, name, image, and likeness. The best and worst thing to happen. All right. Then we have Tom winner chicken dinner. Ding, ding, ding. We got 2 for Lane Kiffin. He says King douche bag. For Lane Kiffin. All right, moving right along. We got the Hall of Fame himself, Uncle Max, and looks like it's a clean damn sweep. Lane Kiffin. I hated it when he was hired at Alabama.
Yep.
So that's 1, 2, 3 for Lane Kiffin, 2 for Nick Saban, and 1 for Woody Hayes.
Yeah,
and Bob Stoops. I'm sorry,
Bob Stoops and Tressel got one too.
Yeah,
but usually people hate the winners more. And Lane Kiffin hasn't really won much. It's not like he's out there kissing trophies every year like Saban and Dabo been doing. People just can't stand Lane Kiffin. And did you see he I don't know if I mentioned this before, he lost a bunch of weight because he said he came in looking fat. He didn't want his players to see him looking fat.
Lane Kiffin. He just loves him some him, don't he?
Yeah. I was actually surprised that as many people picked him as we did in like this small sample size. He was the favorite of the hated.
Where exactly is he coaching? I ain't even paying him no attention whatsoever.
Ole Miss. He's an Ole Miss now.
Oh yeah. Man, another chance at the SEC, and he's going.
But he was he was at Tennessee, then Southern Cal, right?
Yeah, Tennessee, Southern Cal. Didn't he have a stint
Alabama
with the
assistant?
A stint with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Was that Steve Sarkisian who stayed drunk all the time? Well, anyways, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, you know what? I'll shout out the JoJo Comfort, Hot Rod, Rodney Bellamy, Tom Wynn, and Hall of Fame himself, Uncle Max, for their participation in this week's Choices of the Voices. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the way. Lane Kiffin, because I can't stand his face. I can't stand his face. I remember when he was with the Raiders, he had a visor on. He had his little shades like this. Let me tell you something, Lane Kiffin. If it wasn't for the legendary Monty Kiffin, you would not be where you are today, because you have shown on multiple occasions the ability to and run it all the way down your leg on multiple occasions. Even when you're not trying, you somehow find a way to put a wet sock in the toilet and plug it up and leave it stinking. All right, Lane Kiffin. You're not a head coach. You're not an offensive coordinator. You're a professional mess maker. Over to you, Be Live.
Tell us how you really feel.
I wish I could find that picture. He was like, I'm Lane Kiffin. If it wasn't for your daddy, you wouldn't. Go ahead, Be Live, because I'm about to cuss. I see Lane Kiffin. I go to itch.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. My nobody mentioned the coach that I love to see lose, because this is gonna be. I got a twofer. One for the past and then one for the present. I'm going to say this, Eddie Cool. You know one of my answers. And that would be.
Does it involve throwing a visor? I knew it.
Steve freaking Spurrier. God, I can't stand him. I can't stand him. And, oh my God. Just Mr. Run up the score for no reason whatsoever. I could not stand him. God, I couldn't. God, I could not.
Run it up and get them out.
And that man, oh man, but present coach that I love to see lose. And this is going to be a shocker because of my disdain for Ohio State, but it's their rivals coach, Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, I like him.
I do not. You got to produce. All this flash and all this flair that he does with these recruiting trips and everything.
Yeah.
Is you haven't produced a single thing on that field. How does he still have a job? You've lost, what is it up to now? 8 straight times against Ohio State? How do you keep your job?
They didn't play last year, so it's 7?
It's something just astronomical where Michigan has not produced a single thing since he has been the coach. Not one victory against Ohio State. Not one major bowl appearance. Not one. Find a way to lose games over and over and over again. And for such a high-profile college and their alumni being the alumni that they are, how does he still have a job? And it should be, and I'm waiting for that day. I don't normally wish for somebody to lose their job, especially in this pandemic and this time that's going on right now. But Jim Harbaugh, when are you going to produce? Bruh.
Yeah. When they hired him, I thought he was going to be the great equalizer of that conference.
Yes.
He had such a successful stint with Stanford. I thought, man, when he gets in there and with the 49ers, he's coming off a Super Bowl. He was successful at both levels. I thought, man, the days of Ohio State dominating that conference are going to be over because now they're going to have to answer to Michigan. And it hasn't happened. I'm like you. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why he hasn't been recruiting better. I just don't know why. I thought all signs pointed to there being a big time rivalry between Urban Meyer and Jim Harbaugh for the supremacy of the conference. Yeah, I like him though. I mean, I don't have that disdain from that you do. Mine was more geared towards Urban Meyer, who was gone up. I never liked Urban Meyer.
I'll give you that too. And right now I'm watching it as it unfolds right now that my Urban Meyer is going to oh God, he's going to destroy Trevor Lawrence's career. I'm watching it before my very eyes.
Nah, he's too good. He's too good. Trevor Lawrence will long outlast Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. He'll be long gone, and Trevor Lawrence will be thriving.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
But the thing about it is that if Trevor Lawrence does good, then Urban Meyer will still be able to keep his job.
Like McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers?
Well,
it doesn't always work that way. It doesn't always work that way.
Touche. And now Mike McCarthy's your problem.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Scottie D,
very much.
Scottie D, did you pick a coach yet?
Yeah, I don't have as much like vitriol for the college football coach like I did. Like when we talked about this in basketball, I said Jim Boeheim like that. It was like right off the top of my head. Yeah. I was like, that's an easy one for me. I never liked Lou Holtz when he was coaching. Now I kind of look at him as a lovable old guy. But when
you mean you kill me? You didn't like Lou Holtz? You didn't like Lou Holtz?
The Fighting Irish should be in the national championship every year. When he always thought they should be in the national championship.
Get the wood chips out your mouth, Lou.
I did. I never liked him. I'm not. Now that I've seen him. As he's aged, and I've seen him do some, college analyzing, and I'm okay with him now. So he's not the one that I hate. I don't really hate any of these guys, but this Gundy from Oklahoma State, to me, I get a little pleasure watching him squirm because that was crap when he did that. I'm 40, I'm a man, pick on me. I think he was doing that to draw attention to himself, make him look like he's this big tough guy that's defending his kids. And to me, that seemed contrived. He's like deflecting the fact that his team wasn't doing well. And to me, that seemed contrived. And now he's not. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm 54, and he grew out this mullet, and he's wearing shades. He's going through like his midlife crisis, and to me, he seems like such a phony or something. I don't know. He doesn't seem authentic to me. And then he had this situation with where he wore the network shirt this past year, and Chuba Hubbard, his running back, had a little issue with them, and then he completely 360'd on that. I don't know. To me, he doesn't seem very sincere and very real. So I don't hate him, but when I watch a guy walking around like with a mullet, long flowing locks and glasses, to me that looks like midlife crisis guy trying to stay cool when he's 54. Come on, man. He'll probably come out with tats and earrings next season. Enough of him. He's my pick.
He'll be out there with with some cutoff sleeves. And a Colt, and a Colt 45.
Yeah, probably ride a Harley to practice. That kind of midlife crisis stuff.
Y'all better run that ball. Y'all better run that ball.
Hey, Scottie D, I appreciate the Lou Holtz reference because it just brings joy to my heart that we mentioned these former South Carolina Gamecock coaches that were supposed to bring the Gamecocks to this level of glory, as opposed to them only having one conference championship in the entire existence of their football program. That's all they have is one conference championship, and that was in the ACC where they should have stayed. They have no chance in hell to do anything now in the SEC. Just let it go. Clemson's out recruiting them, doing everything better. I mean, 2 national championships.
Okay. I'm going to step in there. We get it.
Sorry,
on behalf of Eddie Cool, I get it.
I'm sorry.
Scott, I was hoping he was going to
We know. Dabo's good. Clemson's good.
Scott, I was hoping that he was going to run out of air and just fall over. And we just go on with the rest of the damn podcast. I'm like, keep on talking. We got another. Keep on. Yep.
You're hoping he's just going to burn himself out.
Yep. We ain't winning that since 1925. Yep. Keep on going. Yep. We got one Heisman Trophy winner. Yep. Keep on going. Yep. Sterling Sharp, the best. Yep. Keep on going. Oh, he blew in the face. Scottie D, what's the question today? I was going to slide right into it. The Bills go back. They go back. Bilal passed out. He'll be all right. He's seeing orange. He ain't seeing blue. You're turning orange, Bilal.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent. You know what? I'm gonna mute myself.
It was a full out assault on Eddie Cool is what that was. So I had to step in there.
Hey, look. He left him. He said, you know what? I'm gonna leave the forehead alone. Let me figure out how I'm gonna get him this week. Damn, you be lying.
I'm sorry when he said Lou Holtz, and it just triggered something else in me. I was like, because Lou Holtz was supposed to be the savior of the Gamecocks program.
Lou Holtz.
Yeah.
After the Brad Scott era, Lord hell. Yeah, that was what the Chris Smelly, Tommy Beecher. Oh.
Yeah. Y'all been through it.
Bad. All hail Connor Shaw and even Steven Garcia when he was, Steven Garcia played his best football when he was in trouble. So, but that's neither here nor there. Scottie D, what's the question for next week's Choice of the Voices? What's on tap?
Okay, so for next week, actually, this is going to be in 2 weeks, correct?
Yes, 2 weeks because we are taking a break. There's going to be no podcast next Tuesday because we want to chill and relax like the rest of the people.
Yeah, Labor Day is next Monday, so Labor Day we might be stretched a little thin here. So we're going to take next week, but we're going to give you 2 weeks to prepare for this answer. And as we're coming back, the NFL will be going right on into it. So this is going to be an NFL type of question. In 2021, this season coming, if your favorite NFL team is not playing, what other team or player are you most interested to tune in and watch? So let's say your team is either on a bye week or they're playing on Monday Night Football or Sunday. If your favorite NFL team is not playing, what other NFL team or player are you most interested to tune in and watch? And that'll give us something to talk about there in 2 weeks, Mr. Eddie Cool.
That's a very good question. And Scottie D, I'm glad you repeated it twice. So that way, if they missed it the first time, they caught it on the wraparound. They for sure caught it on the wraparound. Clemson, yeah, bro, yeah, we know all those either. That shut up. With that being said,
I'm just gonna let you. I'm letting you know already that my answer in 2 weeks will be a former Clemson player. So just be prepared.
Okay.
And CJ Spiller don't count. Check us out in 2 weeks. Choices of the Voices. See you next week.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
Well, you heard Miss Button. She said it's time for us to go home and get the hell, what I call, up out of here. But before we go, it's time for another round of pepper. You know how we do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really. We're here to engage, enlighten, educate, and most importantly, entertain. With that being said, I'll go first. On this day in history, back in 1997, Eddie George runs for 215 yards on 35 carries as the Tennessee Oilers defeat the Oakland Raiders in overtime 24-21 in the first game as the Tennessee Oilers at the Liberty Bowl. Eddie George is now the head coach at the Tennessee State University. It'll be exciting to see what Eddie George does. And Scottie D, ain't that your favorite running back, Eddie George?
Well, I did like him. He wasn't my all-time favorite, but I did like Eddie George, yes.
Man, he had these big shoulder pads in college, and I was like, this dude is huge. He's huge. He's a guy I wish really won a ring, but things happen, and it is what it is. Over to you, Scottie D.
Yeah, I rooted for him. I thought he was a classy guy. All right, so coming up this weekend will be the Tour Championship. This is the final one on the tour this year, where the top seed begins the week at 10 under and then 8 under, 7 under on down the road. There's 30 players in it. But the road to get to number 1 was unbelievably exciting this past weekend as it came down to it at the BMW Championship. This was these guys were throwing darts out there, and Bryson DeChambeau jumped out early on Thursday, darn near shot of 59 to get the weekend underway. But it came down to the putting of Patrick Cantlay, now known as Patty Ice, who just stick and bomb putts on 16, 17, 18. And then in 6 playoff holes, these guys went at it, trading par after par after par on a par 317. It looked like DeChambeau was going to win, and he threw one about 8 feet in from 186 yards out, and Cantlay topped it by throwing one about 2 feet out. Both men birdied, and eventually Patrick Cantlay would win on the 6th playoff hole. Earlier this year, we had Harris English and Kramer Hickok at the Travelers Championship, played eight holes in a playoff. This was a 6-hole playoff to decide, and what a spectacular finish it was. I can't help but root against Bryson DeChambeau. I'm not sure why. There's always something with him, and this time he was mad because Cantlay was walking around like on the 14th. I don't know. There's always something with Bryson. Anyway, it was a super exciting finish to that tournament, and hopefully that kind of thing carries over into the BMW champion or into the Tour Championship this coming week. Top seed Patrick Cantlay, starting off 2 shots better than number 2 seed Tony Finau. Be Live, over to you.
But before you throw it to Be Live, hey, PGA, give us Brooks, give us Bryson, give us a fight.
Yeah.
Ratings. Do we need to find Vince McMahon to promote this, or Tony Khan? Somebody call somebody. We need this.
They have sworn to bury the hatchet while the Ryder Cup is being played. Okay. And I say, let them fight in the clubhouse first, then bury the hatchet. But here's my greatest fear, Be Live. I kind of texted this to you the other day. I'm afraid that they're going to get along while this is going on and permanently bury the hatchet, and then all the animosity be gone. I don't want to see that. I like the animosity. I just do.
Brooks Koepka made it clear that this is just for the Ryder Cup. He said this is just for the Ryder Cup. Yes, I will tolerate him, but after we're done with this,
it's back.
I don't like it.
Okay. I hope so. I hope we
We all
continue this
hope
on.
so. This is great. This is great for golf, man. There's nothing that I enjoy more in life than just pure pettiness.
Yeah.
I love it. I enjoy it. I'm here, Team Petty for the win. That's how I live my life, man.
I got two things to say. As Mike Greenberg said on ESPN, nothing says golf more than a guy named Bryson and a guy named Brooks hating each other. Okay. And number two, be like, remember this one? Let them scrap. Get it out the way. It's good.
It's one of those things. Would you not be so entertained if, just like in hockey where they throw the gloves down, if they threw their freaking putters down and just went at it at the green?
I'm gonna tell you, Bryson don't want none of that. I can tell you that much. He doesn't want that.
Oh
You
man,
don't want the smoke. Go ahead, be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is quite all right, man. Oh man, but yeah, let them scrap. Speaking of scraps and things that are just old, the Lakers seem to be collecting artifacts at this point in time when it comes to their roster, because now, after the Memphis Grizzlies bought out his contract, Rajon Rondo has returned to the Lakers, and at a whopping age of 35, he joins the senior citizen AARP section of the team. And we've gotten now, they have 6 players on this roster that were all-stars in the year 2012. And this was before Anthony Davis joined the team, before he came into the NBA. So he's just looking at all these old, decrepit, oh boy, I almost did it. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh boy, I did it. My mind went there. Sorry, Uncle Max.
Wow. Wow.
My mind drifted. I was like, no,
This ain't got nothing to do with him. This ain't got
Yeah,
nothing to do with him.
Uncle Max has nothing to do with the Lakers. What?
The LAARP Lakers be like, come on, man.
Just because you say old doesn't mean you have to think about Uncle Max every time, man. He deserves better than this. He deserves better. He's going to start listening to Barstool Sports if you keep this up.
I'm sorry.
Man, somebody likes themselves today.
Oh man. So I apologize. But yeah, 6 players on the Lakers were all-stars back 9 years ago, to the likes of LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Marc Gasol, and Rajon Rondo were all all-stars. And now they are joining forces with their walkers and their oxygen tanks to will the Lakers to a victory. God almighty, what are the Lakers doing? What are the Lakers doing? Because I'm telling you, what are they going to do next year? They're not going to have a team. They're not going to have a team. They literally shipped off all of their their young talent. Oh boy, Scott, this is your team. Can you explain this?
I told you, man. It isn't amazing that like 4 years ago, before LeBron got there, they couldn't get a free agent to come out there. Now all these old dudes would have been good signings like 4 or 5 years ago. Now they all want to go out there and they think LeBron's going to carry them to a ring. I don't know. I kind of hope. I mean, they're my team, so I hope it's successful. But yeah, and this is, like I said before, this is kind of what's wrong with the NBA. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
Eddie Cool.
Swing it around.
The ball.
Yeah.
Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo, choo. All aboard the Last Run Express.
And by the way, for people out in Facebook land, there are 8 suggers, courtesy of Major Payne. Sugar, chugga, 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 choo, choo. There's 8. Stop this silly debate. There's 8. There's 8 sugars. Eddie Cool, the ball. My bad. I digress.
All right, fellas, the second pepper point. Thank you for that, B-Live. Goes out to Phillip Rivers, Mr. Dadgummit, and woohoo, man of 1,000 kids. Well, Phillip Rivers, for the first time in his coaching career, guess what he did this past Thursday night? Anybody got a guess?
Pulled out a victory.
Ah, you're right. He pulled out a victory. That's exactly what he did. All right. So Phillip Rivers got his first win as a high school coach. All right. He led St. Michael Catholic Cardinals of Alabama to a 49-0 win. Oh, first win in convincing fashion. That's what I'm talking about. Now, he was hired back in 2020 to take over once his career was over with, following in the footsteps of his father, Steve Rivers, who coached Phillip at Athens and Alabama High School as well, too. But closing the door, in the words of Bruno Mars, he left the door open for a possible return. He said, you know what? I haven't completely ruled that out just yet. And he stays in shape in the event of. Wait a minute, my phone's ringing. Hello? Jim Irsay of the Colts? I'll call you back. So, yeah, Phillip Rivers, he might enjoy coaching and he might come back. Hey, so if anybody needs a quarterback, you know exactly what to do. Is he going to Dallas? Over to you, Scottie D.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Trey Duke would sign him right now if he had the opportunity. So I did something dumb this past weekend.
Uh-oh.
I stayed up till 12:30 on Sunday night to watch Jake Paul fight Tyron Woodley. And it was every bit of the show that I thought it would be. Actually, I'll say this. Both guys pulled off a somewhat entertaining boxing match. It went 8 rounds. It was a split decision that I personally didn't think should have been. I thought Jake Paul convincingly won the fight, even though he never hurt Woodley and almost got knocked out in the process. But 2 amateur boxers going at it. My nephew, who is about to turn 15, tells me that Jake Paul is the face of boxing. That's what the young generation sees, the face of boxing. No, I mean, Canelo Alvarez is still fighting. So, no, Jake Paul's not the face of boxing because he hasn't boxed a boxer yet. But in the aftermath, Woodley thinks it was ridiculous that he lost and immediately wants a rematch, to which Jake Paul responded, get a I love Jake Paul tattoo tonight and you have your rematch. And I don't know if Woodley did it, but he said he was going to. So that'll give us something to look forward to. I think we'd all be holding our breath to see Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley too. But, you know, guys, the last couple of matches I watched Tyron Woodley fight in the UFC, he just couldn't pull the trigger. He kind of wandered around the octagon without throwing many punches and then was a very boring fighter. And he was kind of the same in this boxing match. You know, he threw some punches, landed a couple of punches, but I mean, no, enough. Be live. Over to you.
I fell asleep when you started.
I wish I had fallen asleep on Sunday night earlier.
And the grown man telling another grown man to get a tattoo of "I love." All right. Yeah. All right. Cool.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. I'm going to talk about a seat, a hot seat. This seat is on fire, blazing hot. Scott Frost, Nebraska Cornhuskers. They lose again in a season opener, doing Nebraska Cornhusker things, fumbles, interceptions, mistakes. And the post-game interviews, he was like, we don't know why we keep making the same mistakes. Wow. I've never seen a team more undisciplined. Yes, we are back in the swing of college football. Whatever, this is considered week 0 in this past week in college football. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, Nebraska, the Cornhuskers lost to the Fighting Illini of Illinois.
0.
Yeah, 0.
Yes, this is just
That's part of the passion and pageantry of college football. But go ahead.
You got one more time. You got one more time. I swear for everything. Just you and Scott Frost are on the hot seat with me. Eddie Cool, the fumbled ball.
So it is safe to say that the luster that Scott Frost had when he was at UCF has worn off.
Yeah. I think they're just going to do him a solid to see how the rest of the season goes, but it does not bode well for them at all. I think this is the same Scott Frost in Nebraska that they were wanting to create their own conference because the Big Ten wasn't going to play during 2020, and so he wanted out of the Big Ten and was making all this big old stink about it, and that his players are going to play and making all this noise and stuff like this. Yet now you have an opportunity to play, and you crap the bed. How can you possibly be going from this good to being this bad? Somebody make it make sense. I don't know.
At one point, Nebraska has some very watchable football. I watched about 5 minutes of that game Saturday. I was like, I'm going to take my pre-work nap like I usually do. All right, my third and final pepper point, Be Live, as I learn how to wave fair catch and not take the ball into the end zone and try to bat it out. Oh my God, it was so bad. As you all know, we are wrestling fans. We are open and we was like, look, we like us wrestling, all right? So the Vice Network has the Dark Side of the Ring franchise, and there's ventured out to many other things. There's like Dark Side of the 80s, the 90s, Behind the Badge, Dark Side of Football, and all this other stuff, right? Dark Side of the Ring, Season 3B. I don't know what B means, but Season 3B will be coming back in September on the Vice Network, and here are some of the interesting topics they talked about. I thought they probably would have ran out of topics, but us wrestling fans, we never forget. No, we don't. And the topics go as follows. The stories include Johnny K9, a.k.a. Bruiser Bedlam, the world-famous steroid trial of the then WWF, now WWE, Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, just go look it up, and that's all I'm going to say. XPW, go look that up, that's all I'm going to say. Luna Vachon, and of course, the greatest story of them all, The Plane Ride from Hell. Open bar, airplanes, wrestlers. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You have got to see it. So Dark Side of the Ring, Season 3B, coming up in September. Over to you, Scottie D.
Yeah, I look forward to that plane ride from hell thing because, like you said, a lot of alcohol, testosterone, maybe some performance enhancing. I don't know.
Listen, it was a fully loaded flight.
Yeah, a lot of big names from back in the early 2000s on that plane. All right, so one of my favorite punching bags when it comes to the Pittsburgh Pirates is now gone. The Pittsburgh Pirates have parted ways with Gregory Polanco, who I have been on his case now for many, many years. He finishes his 8-year career with the Pirates with 96 home runs and 694 strikeouts and a 241 average. When he came into the league in 2014, many were calling him Pittsburgh Jesus. He was going to be the savior, and he joined a team that had Starling Marte and Andrew McCutchen, went to the postseason 2013, 14, and 15. Polanco is the last link to those successful years with the Pirates, even though they did not win a playoff series. They actually were a very good team, winning 98 games in that last season. Polanco has struggled. He never lived up to the hype. He never hit higher than 258. His best season was in 2018, in which he pulled off one of the most insanely idiotic self-injuries I've ever seen when he jumped into second place and ended his season by injuring both his knee and shoulder. He's never been the same since. He was batting 208 upon his release last week, and I'm glad he's gone. Thing is, I like the kid. He had an infectious smile and a positive attitude and was good here in Pittsburgh. So I wish him the best. He's only 29 years old. I hope he catches on. But farewell and good riddance to Gregory Polanco. You will not be forgotten. Be Live, over to you.
All right. My third and final pepper point is very simple. My Atlanta Braves. I love them. I love them oh so much. I was hurt because they this past week lost twice to Scottie D's Yankees. And I was like, okay, yeah, we're not doing well against the big boys. And then they shock the world and take 2 out of 3 against the best team in Major League Baseball, which is, oh man, I love it, San Francisco Giants. We took 2 out of 3 against them. Love it. And now we got to play the Dodgers. Wait a minute, hold on now. Can we play the NL East now? The great day we got to.
You need a pirate game.
Some, good Lord. Some, dang. All right, well, let's see. Hey, chop on braids for the A, baby. You already know what time it is. Gotta love it. HL all day, stand up. Yes, sir.
They're still leading their division, though.
Yeah, we're good. We all right.
Yeah, they're going to be all right.
We all right.
All right. Did everybody get their pepper points in?
Yes, sir.
We did.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been it for another action-packed episode of the Sports Bros podcast. A lot of fun, funny, ha-ha, entertainment. Has been a whole lot going on this episode of the Sports Bros podcast. All right, fellas, it's about that time for us to get the hell up out of here and hate watch Monday Night Raw. In a few weeks, we'll be able to watch football. Oh, yeah, quick programming note. Ain't going to be no show next week. We're taking a week off to enjoy Labor Day. All right, Scottie D, anything you want to say before we get the hell up out of here? Eat some dinner, hate watch Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I just want to wish everyone a happy long weekend next weekend, and we are looking forward to talking some NFL football with you when we get back. So we look forward to being with you guys as we get into the best part of the year. Do you remember 21st night of September?
And want to do a quick shout out, hashtag Sports Bros Support Local, to a place that fills my belly a lot up in here in Fayetteville. This goes out, shout out to Crab du Jour Express Cajun Seafood. When I tell you, man,
best brisket.
No, we ain't there no more. We ain't there.
200 beers
no
on tap.
No.
Church Road or
check out Crab du Jour Express Cajun Seafood at 3047 Legion Road, right here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You can get them on Grubhub, get them on DoorDash. I got my DoorDash that keeps me full. But man, their calamari is so crispy, on point, and I'm telling you, it's such a huge portion. I make that into 2 meals, just calamari and French fries. I kid you not. I've ordered it at least a dozen times. I kid you not. I love it. I love it. Love it. Want some more of it.
That sounds good. Great. Oh, yes. Coming soon to a high school football press box near you is this guy, the HOC, Eddie Cool. All right. Pretty soon I'll be back in the saddle once again for Keon Sports Media Group, covering your football team all across Northeast Ohio. I might be on one side one night, one side the next night. Who knows? Stay tuned and keep reading my articles. Keep supporting the team. We greatly appreciate it. Over there at Key Sports Online Media Group. Check us out. We got a lot of good things going on over there. Also here at the Sports Bros podcast, we always stay having something good going on over here as well too. And with that being said, let me clear my throat. And then in closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They'll appreciate it now more than ever. See y'all the week after next. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros podcast. Oh yeah, we get up out of here, baby.
Yes, sir.
Day in September. Y'all be good. See y'all in a few weeks. Take care. You know, man.